Happy Monday. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hi, Danny. I have quite a story to tell you. I'll tell you the story. Well, I'll get started and then tell you the story. But I have a cat story that I'm sure you'll appreciate. And Lennox is somewhere. But that's part of the story. Anyway, if you were around on Sunday, we made this guy, which I think this is my favorite die to date, just because you can see through the decorative layer really well. So like if you want to put something underneath it, it kind of gives it like this fun sort of stained glass window look. Anyway, I was happy about that. And I did go ahead and figure out what our die is. And today we have the bell. And I thought since we hadn't done a honeycomb in a while, we could do the honeycomb, do a half honeycomb and actually use it as a piece on the card. Basically, you can in here somewhere, and I'm not sure that I have found it, but there are little like berries that go on top of the bell, whatever those would be, the bell strikers. Oh yes, it's a cat story, aren't they all? But this you can basically layer under the bell and then have it look like the bell is playing. And this is a really pretty decorative layer, even though I don't think we'll use it today. But yes. And I got these really cute card bases at Hobby Lobby because they were on sale for half off, like all their Christmas stuff. So I think we could use one of these as sort of like the background, if you will. But I think I'm probably going to still cut through a white piece so that we can like stamp a nice sentiment on it. And I thought, because we haven't used my favorite color, craft, in a while, we could actually cut it out of here. But since I'll be die cutting, let me tell you the story of Lennox. So my mother went to Trader Joe's this weekend and got him and Kaiser, but mostly him because he's more of a snack cat, the Trader Joe's cat advent calendar. And I thought it was out of the way and protected. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we can do 4. I don't know if we can do 5. Let's try 5 and see if we can do 5. And I just miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we want to grab these and then cut them in half. Perhaps we want to. There we go, and get the recollections thing off. And these are the whatever this is, 24 pound. And if you're shopping at Scrabby Tales, they have colored ones, but which I own, which we haven't used yet. I swear we'll use it at some point. Let me grab my trimmer quick. And really, if you're doing mass makes, I'd probably recommend you use a guillotine style trimmer, even though I'm not doing that right now. But anyway, so the advent calendar I thought was out of the way enough where our dear friend would not mess with it, but I was incorrect. So I had to relocate it after I came home to the fact that he had broken into it. Oh, here, this didn't cut all the way through. Let's try this again. So yeah, I don't know. I think we know which Santa list he's going to be on this year, but after I was chatting with Elise when she was streaming earlier, and we're thinking that we may use she suggested that Lennox could open his advent calendar or whatever's left of it whilst we are doing our Crafty Advent series next month. So We shall see if it survives that long. If it does, we will certainly do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I count that? Yeah, that seems about right. Anyway, we may not need all of these. I think with the half honeycomb, you only need half as many, so we need 15. So in theory, we only need to die cut this a couple times. Well, that's kind of not great looking. So let's see if this one looks better. Okay. And Lennox is here. He may be joining us to regale us with his stories of being naughty. I'm sure he doesn't think he's naughty. He thinks he's very ingenious. But anyway, if you have cats, it seems like that is definitely a winner. It has like salmon treats in it. I didn't know Trader Joe's made things. Oh, hey, Shanna, how are you? I am behind on the chat. Oh, and everyone, if you're not subscribed to Jenna's channel, which is her name, you probably should. She's going to be joining the J Shanna block on Sundays. But yes. Yep, I am live. I've been doing, yeah. I think our naughty friend is joining us. Anyway, let me die cut some stuff so that we can perhaps be done by Elizabeth's live. Although these honeycomb ornaments are really kind of chill to put together. Are you sorry? I bet not. Does he look sorry? He doesn't look very sorry. He looks whatever cats are. That's the opposite of sorry. Anyway, so we have 2 cuts through. Oh, these all cut through. Hooray. Well, that's good. I think we had done 4 before, so I was curious if we could get away with 5 because 5 makes the math on this a lot easier if you're doing a 30-piece one, and the math a lot easier today because we only need 3. This might be a quick die cutting session then. And of course, I've been kind of, I don't know, I think for December we might try and do this similar time slot because it seems to work fairly okay. Which is to say that I'm going to try to go live closer to 5 and so that we are done by the time Elizabeth starts with her Elizabething. And usually that is, well, it'll be a little bit, I mean, she also does her birthday thing where she streams for like 7 days in a row. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. December is always tricky because people do. See, doesn't he look not? Are you sad? Are you sad about a naughty cat? No. He's definitely not sad, and he definitely doesn't approve of being called naughty. So I guess we're like 0 for 2. Are we 0 for 2? We are 0 for 2. And if you were around for our first stream, see, he doesn't look. Does he look sad? He doesn't look very sad. He looks more well fed than sad. Maybe Cat Santa is okay with stealing things. It's like cats would be like the best pirates ever if they were pirates. I guess the only thing that prevents them from being pirates is not being, on the water. But this is actually a good thing to do with a cat on your desk because basically, or you could scooch. Yeah. I mean, you need to give me at least some of the area. Anyway, so let's just see how this would lay out. But I will. We just show you these a little bit. I thought these were really cute. And your boy is kind of lazy about cards sometimes. So, like, a pattern card is a nice thing. Although, like, The only downside to card bases usually, and the Hobby Lobby ones are generally fit this bill, is they're fairly lightweight. So if you're doing any kind of interactive thing, actually they're so cute with the little Santas. What works as craft? I kind of am feeling green today. That's not quite the green I'm feeling. This one might be good. Oh, these are cute with the candy cane. I think this would look cute with craft. And then we can do a white layer. Well, we can probably put the honeycomb like here and then maybe do some kind of sentiment. I think I need to look for a smallish sentiment. Or we could also do it this way. This actually might work. Oh, I like this. And then we could do a sentiment down here. That would be a nice balance. Anyway. We'll worry about that in a moment. These come with the score lines, and this is thin paper, so you don't really have to break out your bone folder, although you could if you wanted to. And I thought maybe Sunday it would be fun to do one of these without using the fancy die that does it. So just to sort of show people how, like, if you like the look and don't like dropping your things on the floor, how you could do this with basically any symmetrically shaped die. Because you can. And I have some fun, like, Art Deco ones I haven't used yet. So there's that. Let me catch up on you. Oh, I think Nightbot's been made to not be annoying. So FYI, if it does spammy things, let me know. Oh, I haven't watched Cordelia's yet. I loved her angel was so cool. So my calendar is one of the ones where the angel is day 12 as opposed to day whatever, 6. So I think basically, as I understand it, originally the calendar was going to end with the tree, but then it was switched to end with the angel. But some of them end with the angel and some end with the tree, and all of them are kind of discombobulated because they weren't dies weren't glued in, which is nice because then I didn't have to clean goo off my dies, which is also one of my not so favorite endeavors. But it's kind of 6 of one or half of the other. You're probably going to have to clean something off. I think the only way you could, I don't know that I've ever seen a calendar that got around it. Like, I think there was one that had it was sort of set up like this one where there was individual compartments and the dice or whatever the day was were loose inside of those. But then there was like a foil layer over the top. I think Crafter's Companion might have been. No, Crafter's Companion stuff moved around. I don't know. Lots of things. Anyway, we have 15 of these and they're all folded in half. And then we have to just decide what kind of pattern we want. Because we're going to do an alternate. I think I'm going to do the same pattern I did before because I really liked how it came out. But basically, you want to glue them one way inside and a different way to stick together. So even though these are bells, we're still making bell-shaped tacos, which sounds like a Taco Bell Christmas thing, but is not, in fact. But basically, I'm going to put a line at the top to glue these together and then put a line at the bottom to glue them together again to assemble it into a big accordion, essentially. But if you want it to open up more, you can use dots versus like actual lines. I think I want this, but I think that'll. So, and the other nice thing about using the lighter weight paper is you really don't need to clamp or clip these at all because the paper itself will kind of. So basically, it's going to go this way, and then it's going to do the alternate. Anyway. Hey, Jadin, welcome. He is a naughty boy. I'm not surprised he broke into his advent calendar, but I'm surprised that he did it so quickly, I guess. Like I assumed that because the treats are inside individual bags, like you would not be able to notice that there were treats. But no, apparently they are fragrant enough. But I guess this is sort of a I don't know, a kitty endorsement of the Trader Joe's cat treats. So I guess there's that. And the one thing is, you don't actually want to put glue way at the top, or potentially this could be a little difficult to deal with. And I wanted to try, especially with this craft, I think I'm going to try and edge this a little bit once this is all together with a little bit of my gold pigment ink to just add a little bling, and we'll see if it works. I'd like to try it with lunar paste too. Actually, it'd be fun to do one of these in lunar paste for those friends of mine who enjoy that sparklier look. And it's not glitter. You were fall cleaning? I actually cleaned off my desk because it was getting to be, well, I was trying to find the die that I had lost, and I haven't found it yet, which means I put it somewhere intelligent that I've forgotten where that intelligent place was. I'm sure you guys can relate, like where you're like, I'm sure that, what was the weird one? I put something, so I have some craft books that are next to where my trimmers live, and I had put some, forget what it was. I had put a die set up there, like on top of those books, clearly because I thought that was a smart idea. But yeah, no, I didn't remember. I didn't remember it until the last time I had cleaned, and then you're like, oh, okay, well that's where this is. And I do like this paper. This is the, oh, I think I showed you that. This is the Michaels, not the Astrobrights, but the Astrobright one is similar. And comes in rainbow packs. So, like, especially with the circle, if you like these honeycombs and want to do it for something else, they're good for that. And these actually work pretty nicely as like an inside pop-up element too. If rather than gluing the sides down or to each other, you can glue them to the front and back of a card. I suppose we could do that for this one, and then like cut the decorative layer out of glitter or something. But I kind of want to see how this looks. So basically, then we're going to glue this part together so that these will open up sort of like this, if that makes sense. Like if we glue them together at the base, we're going to kind of open up and we're going to have a fun little zigzag pattern. I'm not going to glue them. I'm just going to put a dot. Do I think I want to put a dot? I think I'll just put a, not do that, not glue them down. Let's see. Let's put, let's just put a dot here and see how we like this. And when you're gluing these together, I kind of want to try one of these to see if I like it. But you can, and I think we will, you can do like 4 or 5 of them at once. Yeah, I hope Linux doesn't teach Alyssa naughty things. No, she seems to be very good at like hanging out with you, but like on a segment of the desk that you don't actually need. So if we open this up, how will this look? Oh, that'll look kind of pretty. I like that with just a dot in the corner. So we'll keep doing that. Anyway, so you have your one of these, and then you just put a dot, grab another one, and if you do about 5 of these, it'll give you time for the PVA glue to start to dry, which will be great because this will make it a lot easier. And then we just need one that is to keep our fingers from getting messed up, basically. So then we will just stack and stack and stack, and then stack it on top of the big stack. Oops. And then once you get your whole stack together, you just kind of want to wipe off any excess glue if you have it, but then just hold it together to allow it to at least get together enough where you can continue, and continue. And here, the thing I typically try to do is make sure I haven't like glued any of it too together. Like here we have Oh, that's correct. So it's open at the top here and open and open and open. Okay, that looks fine. And kind of the benefit of this, and if we did this with not too many, it would look weird. I feel like this has glued together in a way that, yeah, like I feel like this is a little too together. Let me look at this quick. Yes. So this one is fine. There we go. That one glued together. So what you can do is just sort of run your finger down here when you find the. Oh, sorry, I was off camera. But if you see one like this where it kind of glued together in a way place you didn't want, you can just run your finger down it. And now we have more of a. We're going to do a bunch more layers, but this is basically what it's going to look like on the finished card. Only the bell will be together because we'll get these two pieces back to back. And you can actually say you could cut one of these, and we might do that out of a heavier cardstock and glue it so that it kind of behaves like you know, words today. So it behaves more like a like chipboard element essentially, so it's easier to place. So that is that so far. And then we will just get a bunch more of these. Let's grab 5. And then we'll just dot it there, dot it there, dot it there, dot it there. And then this will be our on top one to start with. Round, make sure my parts I want to remain open are open. Do that again. Yeah, I like this because I think I might just like pre-cut a bunch of these and bring them to my craft fair to just make if I need something to do because it's just a really fun thing to do with your hands. There we go. That is one of these again. I think I'm using slightly too much glue, which is why this is kind of happening. Anyway, so now I just want to glue these together here. So I'll just put a little piece of glue there, a little dollop, as it were. Then we will make sure this is all lined up. There we are. And we could stop here, obviously, but I think I will add these remaining 3 layers. And then I can bring them back together like this, and then we can like see if we can't ink edge this edge a little bit to add a little bit more character and sparkly and all those things. Hey guys, how are you? Oh, I'm trying a new thing. One of my coworkers sort of skips breakfast every day, so I tend to be a breakfast person. So I've been trying that. Oh, what are we dunning? Let me see. There are storms, I think you said. Oh, thanks, Janan. There are. It's always nice to have people drop by, and I always appreciate it. So if you do, that always is kind of nice. Since I only have 3, I'm just gonna do these one at a time. But I do think if you're doing a bunch of these, like laying them out and then doing them in groups of 5 seems to work really well. And if you want this to be beefier, you can do this with like the 67-pound paper. Um, you just need to clip it and give it a lot more dry time. the thinner paper seems to dry much faster, which is interesting to me. I mean, I guess you have more air circulation because there's not as much paper to the paper, but I wouldn't have guessed that like thin paper wouldn't require clipping and would dry as quickly as it appears to. So anyway, there is that, and then we can see how cool that looks. And you can sort of fluff, like once this is down permanently, you can sort of fluff this a little bit more. So let me, I think I'm going to try my gold pigment ink and see if that looks good or not. Because the last time I used this, people just couldn't see it. Well, it's not true. You can see it in real life. It's just one of those things that didn't photograph particularly well. So I'm just going to take some, just do a little bit of tapping around the edge here. If I get it on the sort of, I don't know, the face of the bell, it's not going to matter because that's going to be glued down. It's not particularly noticeable. So we might go back in with our Catherine Pooler ginger just to give it a little more. Yeah, it's not very noticeable. So let's not try putting this back the wrong way, but let's try out our favorite ginger ink, which we'll have to be a little more careful about because these are super juicy pads usually. And again, I don't think we're getting because the paper is so thin, I don't think we're getting as, oh, this is working. I lied. This ink is doing a better job. But I think you could get a really nice gold look. You can also spray these when they're done, which I haven't tried doing yet. But if you have, yeah, still, you're not really, there's so little paper, you don't actually, this is not a cat toy. Don't eat it. Hi, yes. Sir, I think you've eaten enough things you're not supposed to eat today. But there's such a thin edge here, you actually don't notice it. You might notice it more. I'm curious if you use well, we could try that because I have some frostbite, whatever it is. It's sparkle paste. That's not called sparkle paste. We could try a little sparkle paste and see how that works. Astro paste. See, this is why I forget what things are called frequently. So we'll see. This should work pretty well with what we have going on here already, just because this is translucent, so you won't really notice. I just have to work pretty carefully and be kind of careful to not glue this all together, but I think we'll be fine. Oh, that's interesting. It's actually, so the sparkle paste is actually lifting some of the ginger ink off, so that's kind of an interesting look. Anyway, let's fluff this out. Well, let's clean my hand off first, but then we'll fluff this out so that we don't glue the whole thing together. Because that would be not what we're going for. There we go. And I'm going to sort of separate this out and then just sort of, yeah, I'm gonna leave it kind of out like this, and we'll let that dry for a minute. I think if you really want this to be sparkly, what you're gonna really have to do is just mist it when you're with something. Like those distress mica sprays would be really fabulous. Anyway, so if we have our bell here, what I want is sort of I just kind of want white, I think. Yeah, I think white will be good. But I might cut this mat a little shorter. So maybe do 3 3/4 by 5. Just because I don't want to cover up all of the base. And since we have the dies, we can kind of use those to get sort of a sense of if it looks like it's going to work. So I kind of like that. And then we would probably put this here. So this gives us some room to stamp. So let's see. And you could do a fairly long sentiment. Trying to think. Oh, I have my silly Santas I haven't pulled out for anything. And that's a stamp set. I mean, it's also a die set. But I forget if it has. Oh, I have lots of things. Let's see if I can find that quick. Because I think that might have. I don't know if it has sentiments other than the ho ho ho. Oh, it appears to have sentiments other than the ho ho ho. Ooh, that Santa Claus is coming to town might be. I guess that doesn't necessarily make sense with a bell. On the naughty list seems apropos for today, since certain family members are clearly on the naughty list. But not you, Kaiser. You're a very good cat. Let's turn this. Oh, Santa Claus is. Oh, that would fit perfectly. Or we could do this. To Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. What are you doing, sir? Don't knock over my glue. That would work. It might be a little short. No, I think that's going to work. Let's do that one. I think that makes more sense. Let me scroll down. When the moon is in the ah, the age of Aquarius. That's from Hair, right? I'm not losing my mind. Well, I mean, not losing my mind in this particular way. Oh yeah, you're right. I could do that. I could put a Santa on here then. You're on the naughty list with the Santa. I wouldn't hate. I don't really want this to be a naughty Santa though. I kind of like this guy. Anyway, we could do that, right? That is a what Cordelia is saying. If I don't glue this bit together, let's try to not wreck the honeycomb we made. What you can also do is glue this like this, which would look kind of cool. You can glue it on the inside, so it's almost a pop-up element. That I like. Okay, let's do that. I think that looks fun as a pop-up element. We could just do. Well, if we do that. I kind of want to do something more here. I might not use the Santa then, because we could do. What could we do? We could just make a card, right, and then use this as a. I do kind of like this though, but I agree that yeah. So let's leave this. Let's try. We could. The other thing we could do is we could actually. Oh, this might be a good idea. We could use. We could use the pretty one on the outside. We could do this in like. We could probably cut this out of one of our fancier papers. Actually, it would be fun to cut it out of this remnant too, of the with the leaves. I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do that. We could also do this. This is the green on the other side, so we could also use the green side if we prefer. Actually, I like doing that with green. Or I could look at some of my. I think I have some Christmas of. Oh, I could use some of my Christmas ephemera too. That would be kind of fun. But I like your idea, Cordelia, because then this wouldn't be actually mailable. I have. Oh, this one might be fun with the detailed because it would give you another green. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut it this, and then we'll have to figure out what kind of a sentiment we want. Although, The Santa stuff makes less sense if we don't actually have a Santa. Let me noodle on that while I can get rid of our excess paper we don't need. But I like this as an idea, though. I like where this is going. Assuming I have plenty of time to noodle on a card. Hooray! Ooh, that sounds good, Shanna. So let's see how this looks. I know are you dying of hunger because you didn't break in your advent calendar and make Santa sad? Ooh, or we have we have those pink and Maine big holiday sentiments somewhere we could use too. That would be kind of cute. Wow, this is really make a note. If you want your cardstock to really fall out, this, I mean a good way, but this pink and Maine cardstock basically weeded itself, which makes me happy, a happy little person. There we go. Figure out which way to pop this out. Here we go. We'll see if my idea is a good idea or not. See what we are. It's actually easier to weed from this orange side. There we go. I think everything else just popped out. No, there's a little bit of things. That's way more busy than I would like. I would like this in I think I would like this in a solid or a metallic. Because I feel like I want to kind of keep with the green theme. So maybe green would be a better option. Let me clean this out and we will try that again. I'm sure I could use it. You could also you could probably lunar paste over it or something to make it a little more the color green you want as well. That's actually not a bad idea. Now that I think of it, or spray it or something. But let me do the green. Let me do this in the green and see if I like that better. Here we go. Oh, I like this better, I think, already. I do like that a lot. Although I feel like I should bring a little of this brown color, like ink edge this a little bit, or we could actually ink this edge this in the gold. But I like that. Then maybe see if I have something that's a little. I do like the Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. So if we bring this up, I think that would look really good if I do this in like a cranberry. So let's do that. Hey Brian, how are you? I am playing with the bell today, which is actually the stamp I was most excited about in the calendar when I saw it previewed. So I do like it. So we made both a honeycomb and a detail layer, and then Cordelia had the smart idea that if we basically, is that going to fit okay? Oh yeah, that'll work great. Okay, I'm not mad at this. So what I want, because this is kind of a muted green, is kind of a muted. muted a muted red, which I have. I guess my PSA is if you don't want your stamps to be pink, don't use Catherine Pooler red anything because it all is going to stain your stamps a lot. But it's very pretty ink. But if you're not a person who wants pink stamps, the Simon Hurley inks don't stain, allegedly. And there. And Kaiser is keeping us safe from paper remnants, apparently. Count Mary could use a little more. Use a little more, Mary. I didn't rub off these stamps, so that's probably why I did that. But as you can see, it's going to, assuming we don't like stamp this incorrectly, this should be pretty good. And I'm using really light pressure because I don't want to smash the stamp. There you go. Oh, I like that. That's going to be pretty. And Lennox is back. Shoo. Shoo, sir. Not you. Could you not stand on things? Thank you. I will put my stamp back though, so I remember. But I'm kind of not mad at a Christmas stamp for getting stained because like I'm probably going to use it for red all the time. So, you know, it's just it does this, right? So it's lightly pink. Very ready for Valentine's Day stamping, I guess. Sir, your tail is in an inconvenient place right now. How are you annoyed at me? Honestly. So this I think we can just tape down, but I think I will glue this guy down first. Oops. I still have yet to chat with anyone. I don't know, Brian, do you have one of the big Xyrons? I'm really curious how these dies work if you were to back them and like make stickers out of them, because I feel like that would be a lot easier than dropping it on the floor. No. Let's not do that. Okay. Any Linux hairs off the back of this because it will probably show on the white. Yeah, like that one. Everybody's a critic. Although I want to kind of line this up more than I normally would be worried about just because, oh, that's stuck to that. But I would like this to mostly line up. I guess I still need my wet glue to put the honeycomb on the inside, assuming the cat has not stolen it. See, so I think this will look pretty nice. This actually is probably this would actually be a good opportunity to use the gold because it will show up. The gold will show up if you ink edge it on white very nicely, as you can probably see. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see how this, oops, looks. And I've been most successful using this pigment ink against white. It actually is really nice for this kind of a vibe because I feel like a little gold works nicely for Christmas. Hello. Are you saying hello to all the people? All the people who know just how naughty you are now. You never know, they might know Santa. You should be careful with your naughtiness. I think this is gonna look fun. And all I really need is some tape. And we're mostly on time. Actually, quite on time. The thing that's interesting to me about these dies really is that, like, if you just make a card with them, like, you can make a card in 20. Oh, okay. I was tempted to go and see if I can't die. Like, if I just use, like, an adhesive sheet, if I can't do that. Your collage soup. Collage soup. What is collage soup? I'm curious. Now, if we're lucky, I glued this. Yeah, I put the card base down the correct way, which is good. So you can see, like, I like this in the darker green because you can really see the detail in the bell. You've got like your neat little. These swoopties are very similar to the ones on the Christmas tree, and then you have some really nice piercing. So, like, if you did this out of gold, it would look really cool too. Anyway, time to do Cordelia's idea, which is basically to do a partial die cut. We might want to cut this in half so that this card will fold. So I'm going to just rip this, and there we go. So you don't want it to be. You want to kind of be careful how thick this is because this can make this spine bunch up a little bit. And the closer you put it to the middle, the easier that's going to be. And then we will have fewer bell layers, but it should still look quite pretty. There we go. I think that'll look fine. So I'm going to just put it, I like it kind of in the middle, and then that gives people places to write. You could, of course, decorate this more than the not decorating it that I'm doing. But because I want this to really stick, I'm going to use a lot more glue on these layers just so that we have good adherence. But also try and be semi-careful to not glue the card shut. And you can put a little bit of a gap here, which I think I will do just to make this a little bit easier. But this should be under the, whatever it is, 1/4 inch that you would need. So I think you could still machine this because with the honeycomb in the middle, it's not going to make it, like it doesn't make it bunch up too much. And we want to make sure we are not gluing our card together. Well, I mean, we want to glue our card together, but we only want to glue part of our card together because we want our honeycomb to floof like that. And I think it would be neat, like if you had some small little Christmas stamps, it would be neat to do some little like candy canes or something in the corner to make this more of a presentation. Then you have all the space people can write on. So good idea, Cordelia. I like that. I think it was a fabulous idea. Labeling bins right now. I will have to check out Cordelia to see what you made on your channel because I've been really enjoying your cards as well. So this is what our final honeycomb looks like, which looks pretty neat. And here's the final card. And I think we are good for tonight. If you are not made seasick by Lennox sitting in the camera, Elizabeth should be going live in about 10 minutes or so. So feel free to cruise on over to her channel. I will probably see you there as well. And we will be back for day number 11 tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then we will wrap up the calendar on Wednesday. So that's what we have in store this week. It was great seeing you, and I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your Monday.